Hello everyone, I'm Justin. I believe everyone here must have experienced sadness in any stage of their life. But sadness is not just a single feeling, it comprises of multiple emotions. This is explained by a model called Kubler-Ross model. The model claims that there are five stages of sadness, namely they are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and at last acceptance. Founder of this model, Kubler-Ross, has claims that this model can be applied to any sorts of personal loss, for example, the loss in job and wealth and freedom or even in the relationship. But today we'll discuss is that whether the same model can be applied to group loss. Group loss refers to a group of people shared perhaps a common belief, for example, they live together and when they lost a common thing, would their feelings also align with this model? So take the example of when a group of people, for example, in a community, they lost something historic, they lost something iconic. So for the first stage, denial, I think this happens in the case when people in a community they lost something historic. So people will not admit the loss at the first stage, but they will say, how come that this would not happen? Because they treat the iconic places as full of history, full of memories. So they would not admit at first stage. So denial would be the first feeling. And after that, when this did not limit themselves only to the denial stage, but they would try to fight against and try to get back what they have lost. So they would come to the anger stage. So this would transform for example, their spiritual thoughts or verbal thoughts into actions. So people may come into protest or a sort or different sorts of action in order to express their feeling that they would like to have this uh, historical places back, or they would like to have this historical item back. And sometimes during anger, there could be also the third stage, which is the bargaining. So for the bargaining stage, people would discuss with the opposite party to see whether there is some criteria in order to satisfy each other, and the opposite party agree not to remove the historical places or throw away the historical item. So suppose all these sorts of methods has been tried, but they cannot succeed, and this would come at last that the historical places has really been removed. So here comes to the fourth stage, which is the depression. People would be sad. There's something they have the collective memory in, and something they are lost, and people will try to remember it in their own way. For example, they may set up their own exhibitions to tell the later generations that there has been something as iconic as this, as historical as this in the past. So this can be bring to the future, bring to next few generations. And however, this feeling of sadness cannot be extended forever. So at some point they may come to the last stage, which is the acceptance stage. So people will have to accept that okay, that historical places has been removed, that has historical items has we have lost that historical item. But this doesn't mean that the historical meaning or historical uh, or its uh, or its existence in the past has been completely wrapped out. Instead, they are kept in a mental way instead of a physical way. So through this example, I want to illustrate that this model need not to be only uh, applicable to personal loss, but also in a group loss. However, the founder of the model has also claimed that not all sorts of loss will pass through all five stages, and they may not be in the sequential manner. So I think that this is the same case for group loss. Like for some immaterial event, they may people may not be as emotional as to pass through all five stages. But I think that like what the founder have said, people would usually come across at least two stages. For example, people may come across the anger stage and bargaining stage when they try to fight against the decision. So here's comes to the end of a presentation. I hope that through this short presentation you may have a further understanding and further interpretation on the Kübler-Ross model. Thank you.